Thank you very much. And just a point of clarification, I don't know if you want to count this as a formal question or not. Do we know when the Natural History Museum site is going to be opening up?
I will get you that answer in just a second, but you go on with your second question.
I appreciate that. On a different topic, obviously we're anticipating some amount of protests coming up with the Chauvin trial wrapping up in Minneapolis. There's been a lot of discussion about how the NYPD's tactics are going to change as a result. We've already seen a few protests, and I think one of the overriding complaints so far is the use of helicopters by the NYPD. It seems to be somewhat antagonizing, especially some of the residents that have to deal with the noise circling overhead for hours. Obviously, it's very expensive for the NYPD to operate. Is that a strategy that you're looking at changing at all in terms of how the NYPD uses helicopters to police protests?
Yeah, let me first just get out of the way the answer to your previous question. Friday is when the American Museum of Natural History opens up, and we're excited about that. The answer is yes to your second point there, Steve. There is a place in certain situations, of course, for police to use helicopters. Sometimes they're an absolutely crucial tool. I think with protests, they should be used sparingly. I think we have another reality that, your station and other stations might have helicopters themselves, and sometimes people might be confused which one is a police helicopter versus which is a media helicopter. But I do think from the policing point of view, it should be used as sparingly as possible, and we're working with NYPD. We've been having conversations about this to make sure that's the case going forward. Go ahead.
Next is Juan Manuel from New York One.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
I'm doing well, Juan Manuel. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So Andrew Yang, who ran for president in 2020 like you did, is consistently topping the polls for the Democratic mayoral primary. And the New York One poll released this morning has Yang at 22%, Eric Adams at 13%, Scott Stringer at 11%, and Maya Wiley at 7%. Other candidates are polling lower. What do you make of it? And is it that New Yorkers favoring Yang are looking for drastic change after your 8 years in City Hall?
I think it is April 18th, and we're over 2 months out. I checked the facts the other day. At this point in 2013, I was in 4th place. So I just think this has been a very late developing election. I don't think a lot of information has flowed yet. People have been rightfully, understandably, very focused on COVID. They're now just starting to put their attention into the mayoral race. So I don't think anyone should assume what we've seen today is what the outcome will be. It may be, but it's just way too early to tell. I do think what's going to happen from this point on, we're about to cross that 2-month mark, is more and more scrutiny. I believe all of you in the media will give scrutiny to all the candidates. I believe the public will start focusing more. And typically that changes the reality of an election a lot. So, ask me the question again as more of that has happened, and then we can assess better.